Right now, somewhere, a couple is kissing goodbye at an airport. A mom is kissing her kid's forehead before bed. You've probably kissed someone today without thinking twice about it. But here's the thing. Pressing your mouth against another person's face is a genuinely strange thing to do. It's older than language, older than fire, maybe. Some scientists think it's older than us, as in older than modern humans. So the question is, when did this weird little act start? And why did it stick around for hundreds of thousands of years? Let's go back to the beginning. Not human history, animal history. Chimpanzees kiss, bonobos kiss. Even some birds do a version of it, touching beaks before feeding their young. For a long time, researchers assumed kissing was just a human thing, a cultural invention. Then in the 1960s, primatologists studying chimps in the wild started documenting mouth-to-mouth contact used to calm each other down after fights. Not romance, reassurance. Here's the theory that changed everything. Kissing might have started as mouth feeding. Mothers across early hominin species likely chewed food into a soft paste and passed it directly from their mouth to their babies. It's called pre-mastication, and it's still practiced in some cultures today. Think about that. The same motion, the same closeness, may have started as basic infant nutrition. That's a strange origin for something we now do on first dates. Fast forward to around 1500 BCE. This is where we get our first hard evidence in writing. Ancient Vedic Sanskrit texts from India describe people sniffing with their mouths, pressing faces together and inhaling as a greeting and a sign of affection. Some historians argue this is actually the earliest written reference to kissing as we'd recognize it, not just parent to child, but between adults. But here's the problem. For decades, a totally different theory ruled that romantic kissing started in Mesopotamia, way earlier than that. In 2023, researchers from the University of Copenhagen and Oxford dug through Mesopotamian clay tablets, some over 4,500 years old, and found kissing described in ordinary domestic and religious texts, not as anything unusual. Married couples kissing, that means the behavior wasn't new when it was written down. It was already normal life, which pushes the real origin back even further than anyone had proof for. Here's what makes this so important. Kissing shows up independently in unrelated ancient cultures with zero contact between them. That's not a coincidence you get from copying a trend. That's a sign it's wired into us at a deeper level than culture. So let's talk biology, because this is where it gets wild. When you kiss someone, your brain floods with oxytocin, the bonding chemical, along with dopamine and serotonin. Your face has more nerve endings packed into your lips than almost anywhere else on your body. Some researchers argue kissing evolved as a built-in compatibility test. You're literally smelling and tasting another person's immune system through their scent and saliva. Genetically different immune systems are actually more attractive to us. Nature's way of avoiding inbreeding and building stronger offspring. Yeah, your first kiss was basically a genetic background check. Romantic, right? Now here's the pivot that really raises the stakes. Not every culture kisses. Anthropologist William Jankowiak studied 168 cultures around the world and found romantic sexual kissing present in less than half of them. Some cultures traditionally used nose rubbing or simply didn't touch faces at all as a romantic gesture. That's a huge deal because it means kissing isn't a universal human instinct like smiling or crying. It's something closer to a learned behavior that spread, likely through trade, conquest, and cultural contact, rather than something hardwired into every human brain from birth. So which is it? Instinct or invention? The honest answer, based on the evidence, probably both. The impulse toward closeness, scent-checking, and bonding through touch seems to be ancient and biological, but the specific act of mouth-to-mouth kissing as romance looks like a behavior that got invented once, maybe multiple times, and then spread across the globe the same way trade goods and religions did. Think about that. One of the most natural feeling things you do might actually be more like a global fashion trend that's lasted 4,500 years. So here's the full picture. It probably started as mothers feeding infants mouth to mouth. Ancient Vedic texts gave us the first written trace of it as affection. Mesopotamian tablets pushed the timeline back further, showing it was already normal domestic life. And modern science shows it might double as a hidden biological test for choosing a mate. So next time you kiss someone goodbye at that airport or kiss your kid goodnight, you're doing something that might trace back to a mother feeding her baby tens of thousands of years ago, dressed up by history as romance. Being human means taking a survival instinct and turning it into poetry. If you want more of these deep dives into the weird ancient roots of everyday things, stick around. There's a lot more where this came from.